So this week is week 4, and we are talking with one point that I have to remind you to have to talk about it is the Premier Bank. I went to visit them, and they even gave me the documentation. They have 1.5, so in $1,000, if you put $1,000 in Premier Mastercard, and then using it over here in Argesa, there is no cost, there is no extra charge for you, so you just go to the ATM machine and take out money without fee. But if you use it on the internet outside Canada, if you use it to buy things from AliExpress, there is a 1.5 fee, which is in $1,000. If you buy some products from AliExpress, $1,000, $15 will be paid by the transaction to Premier. So it is very good. 1.5 is very good fee for transactions. Now this week we're going to talk about your website. We're going to start the website next week. This week we're going to talk about domains and then the cPanels. Right, domain over here is we'll try to get a free domain at freenom.com. Freenom.com. On the link of the week 4, you can go there and find week 4, and there is domains and freenom. Freenom.com. So you can try to get a free domain. So enter, for example, Argesa shop, and then check availability, and then it should show you if it is available. There's some .ga.tk you can try, and then click. Then at the end you have to enter your email, and then it's going to be verified. Then you have to enter your name and address. Make it that you're sure that you write down some address over here in Argesa and make it up. Road, street number 74, something like this, Argesa, this area, Somalia, this and that. Because this company, they're always trying to block people because it is a free domain, so thousands of people, they try to use it for spam reasons. So it's not easy to get this domain, but you should try. You should try to register a domain of these people. And then there is also the name servers. So let's go back again. A domain register is the place where you register a domain. In this free domains that we're talking about is a freenom.com. It's a register which, for example, when you select the domain, there is options 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. It is free. If you click 1 year, it becomes $24 or something like that. So it's full of tricks. Perhaps you have to do it more than once. Different emails. Try to register this account and to get a free domain. If not, we're going to use a subdomain of saopaulo.com. So, domain registrar is the one where you buy the domains, like GoDaddy or Namecheap. They are also hosting, but mainly they are known as domain registrar. Argesa Web, for example, I also sell to my customers domain, but I'm a reseller of the big domain registrars. For example, the customer pays me $15. I have a API which connects to the registrar, and I pay $9. They already have an account of them, so I pay already $9. So I get the domain for the customer, and the customer pays me $15, so I get $5 something profit. So this is a domain registrar, and hosting is different. Sometimes the same company, sometimes you can register the domain somewhere else and keep the hosting in another place, which is actually what I recommend. So, and now the domain is somewhere in the middle, you register a domain, it's over there, somewhere in the space, we don't know where it is. So you have to buy the hosting, and the hosting will put your files on and install your WordPress, whatever. So this is domain register is the domain, and then the hosting for the files and the domain, the content of your website. Okay? To point this, when you go, for example, you buy a register, you buy a domain.com. Then you go to hosting and you buy the hosting for that domain. Then they will send you an email called welcome email or something like that. There's going to be an email with something called name servers. Name servers. Go to week 4, you're going to find this thing about explained what it is. And there's even a link, external link, showing what is a domain name servers, which is DNS. Not DNA of the human, the cells, it is a DNS, it is the name server propagation, which can take up to 24 hours. What is this name servers do? Is that you have the register, you have the hosting. Now the hosting will send you an email telling you, use the name servers, go to your domain, go to your register, change the name server, so your domain will point to that server over there. Do you understand? So what is the name service? The name service is the information telling all the internet, telling all the browsers in the world, this domain, khadar.com example, is on this place, is on this server. Because if not, the domain is somewhere, you cannot see, no one can open it. But by pointing of the name servers, is pointing to a specific place in the server, which will have your files, which will be your hosting, which will have your files, and then you can change. And when they go to the browser international, they type and they will see your website. That is name servers. And the hosting gives you this information. And it gives you also a control panel that you can upload your files, that you can have an email, that you can do all these things. These things are called, we use it, 90% of the hosts in the world use cPanel. And this is what I'm going to show you now. I'm going to show you a cPanel. It's a 5-minute video on my computer that I made a short video on the browser. And it shows you what is the cPanel. Now, every one of you, I mean, in a group of 4 or 5 students, I'm going to send you, for each group of 4 or 5 students, I'm going to give you a cPanel. And you can keep it. You can play around for a few days, for a few weeks. Because another teacher, there's another teacher, I can't remember, skinny man, he is going to need the cPanel, that you know what is the cPanel. cPanel is fundamental to learn for hosting, for your domain, for your website, okay? So now we're going to have 5 minutes of explaining what is the cPanel. I want all of you, already some of you in the morning and in the afternoon, we created groups of 4 or 5 students, and for each group I gave him one cPanel from my service. So I want you to play around, do whatever you want, create email. No, don't send emails from that one, but see how it works. Go to Sofa Talkers and you see it on the cPanel that you're going to get, and install a WordPress, install a Joomla, install a forum, install something new. Go to check the PHP selector. Go to check, for example, zip, open file, public file manager, public HTML, and go and zip files, open files, create files, change files, edit files. Okay? Right. So this is the class of this week, and it's the cPanel. I want everyone to connect, to contact me WhatsApp, and let's start with the cPanel. And I want you to try to set up a domain. If it doesn't work, listen to me carefully. If it doesn't work, your domain cannot be registered. Send me an email on WhatsApp. Tell me your name. Said, teacher, I couldn't get a domain. Can you set up a subdomain? So I'll set up a subdomain called your name or whatever it is, books, mobiles, and then sopaulo.com. So this, ask for this subdomain. It could be your name, could be something else. Make it up. Send it to me by WhatsApp, and I will prepare, set up a WordPress site and give it to you. Okay? Thank you very much. So this is the cPanel, and we're going to talk about it. The cPanel is the one which controls your website. It is the hosting. So we talked about the domain. The domain is the domain register where sometimes it is a domain register and hosting. They are the same company, but you can register domain hosting, domain directly from a domain register. It's a little cheaper than a domain web host. So, for example, I have customers, they buy from me by 15. Automatically, I connect them with an API to our domain register, to the provider which provides domains for my customers. I have them, an account of them, and the customer, he buys he clicks on it, he pays for it. Immediately the billing system buys the domain from the domain register, and it's available for the customer. But this is hosting. This is the web host. So your domain, your email, your websites, your databases are over here in the cPanel. cPanel is the main web hosting control panel dashboard of customers in the world. The best web hosts, they use this cPanel. It's expensive software, which I paid like $200 a month for using it on my server. So cPanel, over here, for example, you go and you create an email, whatever you want on your own domain. You set up an email and your password and how much with space you can use it. Autoresponders, for example, it is autoresponders, the one a little bit on top before. It is an email. Someone sent you an email. You are not available for a few days, or you want them to call you on email, call you on the phone. So you send immediately when they email you, they receive an email back from you saying, "Call me on this number. I'm going to be not available on emails." Then you have backup databases and subdomains and this is and the metrics on your website, who's logging in, where they come from. Then Cloudflare is a service I provide, partnership with one company which makes copies of your website in 300 servers around the world, so your website loads faster anywhere in the world. And this is one of the services provided on the cPanel. And then there is cron jobs and things like that, and then, for example, select PHP version, because PHP has a 5.6, 7.123, and then the new one. So on the good one we use nowadays is 7.4. Never use the one before 7.0, 7.1. They are very dangerous, vulnerable ones. But some websites, my customers, they use that one. So it could be, I let them. Then there's the public file manager. You see, this is where you add the files, for example. If you add the test.html and you put some code, this is a test, and then someone goes to your browser, to the browser of your website, and the slash test HTML, the HTML you edited, you added on that file is going to be public, is going to be visible everywhere in the world. So this is the public HTML folder where you keep the files which are visible. And this is the PHP selector. The PHP selector, you can, the current version, try to use 7.4 always. The new one is going to be in 1 year, 2 year time, is going to be the 8. Never use the one 7.1 or 7.0. They are very dangerous. 5.6 are very, very dangerous, of course. Then over here we use ones for tokens. Over here you see on this another thing that I pay for my customers to have access. There's like 400 sites, frames, templates, so forums, file manager. All this is a different website, WordPress. You click on WordPress and installed automatically.